The Afar state of Ethiopia is the cradle of mankind. It is home for ancient human fossils, which are believed to have existed more than 3 million years ago. The world embraces about 26 fossils which are evident as origin of humanity. Almost half of these fossils are found in Ethiopia, notably in the state of Afar. By the time when the Afar state had become a habitat for the first human race, some million years before now, the entire land was covered by forests. The Afar land is mostly desert with the highest level of temperature in the world. Dalol Depression has the highest temperature in the world. It's one of the lowest areas below sea level in our planet as well. The area is endowed with various mineral resources alongside with its magnificent beauty. Constant volcanic eruption is a common phenomenon in the Afar state of Ethiopia. There are over 16 volcanic sites in Ethiopia. The volcanic scenery in the state is one of the astounding phenomena in the world. There are barely few places with fiery, magnificent happenings in the world as entirely volcanic eruption. The people of Afar are predominantly pastoralists. History attests that the people were also known for caravan trade, which traveled as far as the coast of the Red Sea.
The Afar people have a long history. Historical accounts prove that the Afar have a history of over 6,000 years.
The
Afar language is categorized under the Cushitic language family. They have been living in this area since a long time ago.
The Afar people live on the border of the country. When external forces tried to intrude into Ethiopia, the people went long in defending the sovereignty of their country. Especially when invading forces had come from as far as Turkey, the people fought and surmounted their enemy. The Egyptians were also striven to fight against the Afar. However, they were defeated. Italians were also the forces who were trying to invade the area. The French had also made continuous effort, but were defeated instantly. No invading external force succeeded in invading the country through the Afar state.
Many external forces had made insistent effort to invade Ethiopia through the eastern parts of the country. In 1859, these forces were defeated.
The Afar people were defending the sovereignty of Ethiopia by preventing the enemy from entering the country. The Adal Sultanate, which was predominantly known in the medieval era, were situated in Afar. The Afar people were defending their homeland during the Yifat and Walasma Sultanates.
In the 1920s, the current Afar state was part of the province of Wollo, Shoa and Tigray. People of the Afar state have gained the right to self-administration after 1991. After all the political rights of the people came to be enshrined in the constitution of Ethiopia, the people start to succeed in social and economic areas.
Afar ከዜሮ ተነስቷል ማለት እንችላለን እና ጥቅም ያላገኘ ህዝብ ነው ትምርትን ያልተቋደሰ ህዝብ ነው
We can definitely say that the Afar people have started development activities from the scratch after the current government takes over. We were forfeited of our basic human rights like education, health, and all social and economic services.
There were less than 10 schools in the previous regimes. However, after the federal system came into being, the number of schools have reached over 1,000 in the Afar state. This has created significant opportunity, especially for the productive part of the society.
የምወደው ትምህርት ማትስና ፊዚክስ ነው። ከጨረሱ በኋላ ሰመራ ዩኒቨርሲቲ መማር ፈልጋለሁ።
I have a great love for mathematics and physics. After completing my high school education, I would like to pursue my higher education in Samara University. I want to be a doctor or a teacher.
አንድ ልጅ አምስተኛ ክፍል ነው፣ አንድ ልጅ ሁለተኛ ክፍል ነው።
One of my sons is a grade 5 student and the other is grade 2. They aspire to become high officials when grow up.
1423 አንደኛ ደረጃ ትምህርት
There are about 1,423 primary schools and 6 colleges in the state. Basically, the people have become beneficiaries starting from the alternative basic education to the university.
ዩኒቨርሲቲው እዚህ በመቋቋሙ የክልሉ አርብቶ አደር ማህበረሰብ ልጆች በአቅራቢያ የከፍተኛ ትምህርት ተጠቃሚ እንደሆኑ አስችሏቸዋል።
The establishment of Samara University in the Afar state has benefited the society in many ways.
The relationship between the dependent and independent workers.
ተደራሽነቱን መረጋገጡ በራሱ አንድ ቁልፍ ሚና ተጫውቷል።
Providing access to education is one of the priorities in the Afar state. In this regard, Samara University is playing a pivotal role in accessing education to the community living in the state. The number of students in the state is increasing from time to time. Currently, there are over 130 university instructors who are members of the Afar nationality.
የተሻለ ሰው ኃይል ማምረት እንዲቻል የክልሉ ተወላጆቹን በዛ ሙያ ላይ እንዲሰማሩ
Special attention is being given to the Afar state. In so doing, the productive part of the society would benefit from the available employment opportunities.
በሰመራ ዩኒቨርሲቲ የአውትሪች ፕሮግራም ተምሬያለሁ።
I am fortunate in securing the scholarship program in Samara University. The program enabled me to practically know the courses which were given theoretically. This is a sample of an oven traditionally known in the Afar state. It is switched to electrical appliance.
Before the formation of the federal states in Ethiopia, the Afar population had little educational and other social opportunities.
አልፎ አልፎ አቅም ያገኘው ከደሴ እዚህ አካባቢ ትምህርት ቤት ስለሌለ
The Afar children had less access to education some 2 decades ago. There were no schools in the state. The students were forced to move to Desse and other areas for schooling.
የክልል እኮ ሲመሰረት በእኛ ደረጃ እኮ ምሁር ተብሎ ከዜሮ ነው የተነሳው።
Access to education was an early phenomenon for the Afar people. In the past, there was barely few people who were graduating from the primary school.
There was time when it was impossible to find a man with a diploma. Imagine a state with very few people holding higher educational qualifications. Education used to be the opportunity for some selected places in the country.
The health extension workers are diligently working to support their community. The extension workers like Maria are having the opportunity to help their society. The segments of the society are making every effort for the people for health and more productivity than ever before.
I inform the community to keep the hygiene of themselves and their environment. I am in charge of these things to the benefit of the society.
ከዚህ በፊት በአፋር ክልል ውስጥ ወይንም በአፋር ውስጥ የነበሩ ጤና ተቋማቶች በጣም ጥቂት ነው የነበሩት።
Previously, there were very few health institutions in the state. One is Hore Health Center and the other one is in Asaita. Tandaha Hospital in Dapti primarily gives service for agricultural office staff members. It gives service only for few people in the area. The pastoralists had no health facilities. As a result, they used to be treated by traditional practitioners. Currently, there are over 91 health institutions, where one of which is maternity hospital.
Having access to education made pivotal contribution in the expansion of health facilities in the Afar state. The dwellers came to have access to health and other services by the professionals natively coming from the Afar state.
The state currently owns health professionals who speak the Afar language. Patients explain their health problems to the doctors in their own language. In the previous systems, there were no professionals speaking the language. This is great change and opportunity for the community.
When a patient comes for medication, it was difficult to give medical prescription because of the language gap. Patients used to go back home without understanding the prescription given by the doctor. However, recently the community is receiving health services by its own language. This is a great relief.
The health service provision mainly centers the community. Women coming from distant places receive maternal services in the center.
The aim for the establishment of this pension is for mothers who are coming from remote area. It enables them to have delivery access in the center to keep mothers from facing any maternal complications.
Pregnant mothers used to have no access for food as they came from a distant place. Now they are provided with food in the center.
The Afar society has different labor divisions. Women basically participate in milking while the man takes part in keeping the herd of camels, taking them to the grazing fields. The man is also responsible for milking camels, as milk is the main dish for a special guest. Housemaking is principally made by women in the Afar state. Women explain their deep-felt sentiments through singing. Preparing food is also the responsibility of women. The Afar stay in a specific place for only a certain period of time. The people move from place to place in search of pasture for the herd of camels and other livestock. Their movement from place to place hindered their access to education, water and other social and economic services in the previous times. Though there were services to the community in the area of settlement, it was inevitable to make the community to stay in place.
Traveling in search of water and grazing field had been a frequent lifestyle for the Afar people. But these days, this society is given access to basic education and other important social services to stay in a specific place.
Currently, our community is no more traveling from place to place in search of water and grazing land. We have designed a strategy to resettle the society on voluntary basis to provide them all the basic provisions in their surroundings.
Nowadays, the pastoralists are looking for viable opportunities. Since their environment is affected by climate change, the society came to comprehend the need to stay in place for their better future. The pastoralists have great interest to transform their lifestyle. The conditions are forcing them to change their way of life.
We are pastoralists from the very beginning, supported by the government. The people are practicing farming activities. We are getting notable benefits, providing various crops such as maize and wheat to the market.
The Afar society is able to enjoy their basic inalienable rights since the past 2 decades. The society has got access to education, health and other important social services. They are administering themselves in line with the current democratic constitution of Ethiopia. The women, youth, and other segments of the society are beneficiary of the new system.
Mama taxi tak arhiba